This is a 1980 Special Edition Turbo Trans Am. Originally it was a 301 turbo car. However, the 301 turbo, as most cars ended up, had the original engine pulled and the engine was replaced with the 1976 Pontiac 400. I'm going to try to go over every detail on this car that I can. I want any interested person to know exactly what they're getting, not have any surprises. You know, it looks pretty good for a 30-plus-year-old car. I believe the body is rust-free, the floors are rust-free, the trunk is rust-free. I've had a few interested people, two of them. They had me take it to a body shop of their choice, and the body guys actually looked at it and they kind of agreed that it seemed to be a very solid car. It actually looks pretty good in the pictures. Any pictures or video, the paint looks really great considering the age. But in reality, it needs a new paint job. It needs some body work. The paint was applied in 1995, and it is I guess a single stage lacquer. When I bought the car, it was in an old paint. Had lots of sanding scratches in it. And when I had it painted, a non-professional friend painted it for me for free. I was in high school. I bought the paint, he sprayed it, and you know, did a pretty good job, but there was no body work done at all on the car. And after a few years, the paint has started to settle into all those sanding scratches. I'll see if I can get up close and we'll see if we can see what we're talking about. You can kind of see the orange peel and some of the imperfections under the paint. Some areas look better than others, especially the bottom half looks pretty good. The top half, where it sees all the sunlight, it's really starting to show how bad it is. I don't know if you can see, there's some of the scratches in the paint. Anybody that buys it, you're going to be able to drive it and be proud of it on the road. It looks great going down the highway, but it needs a new paint job. It needs a little bit of body work. There's some door dings in it. The fender flares on the front are beat up. They're cracked. If you do have paint and body work done, you can probably reuse the old rear fender flares. They've got some rock chips in it, but otherwise they look pretty good. The front fender flares, as you can see, this one, the welting is gone. Whoever had it before me, I don't know why, they probably screwed it to the fender. So any body shop ought to be able to weld those up and fix it properly. This one, same thing. No screws, but the welting is broken and gone. There's a crack down here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. The front spoiler underneath is pretty beat up also. The grills, however, are relatively new. They're a few years old, but they're nice and soft, very soft and pliable. Shouldn't have any problems with those. The hood bird is actually off a 1981 model. It was installed anyway. I ordered the correct bird. They sent me the wrong one. I just went ahead and put it on. All the decals and stripes were installed in 1995 after paint. The bird's okay, all the logos are okay, but the stripes are really starting to fade pretty good. The T-tops, all the weather strip on the car was replaced except for the T-top seals. The T-top seals are going to run from the top of the door all the way across and back down to the bottom. The T-tops do not leak other than right about here where the seal meets. It tends to drip right about here on the seat on both sides. That's about the only spot you'll have any leaks, and it does that in a decent rain and in a good car wash. It'll leak right there. Not too bad, just a few drips. The side glass does not seal on this weather strip very well, so in a rain you're okay, but in a car wash you'll spray water inside there a little bit. The only other areas of concern on the body, when I was driving about 12 years ago probably, I removed the original turbo wheels and installed these snowflakes. On aluminum wheels, you have to re-torque them every couple times for the first week. I actually re-torqued these and drove it to the next town, and while I was driving, the front driver's wheel loosened up and actually came loose of the car. This was about 12 years ago, and what it actually did, the bottom of the car is fine. However, what happened was I was driving about 20 miles an hour. The wheel actually loosened up and came off. Kind of a scary ride, but what actually happened was the wheel bounced up and hit the fender. And what it did was it kind of put some cracks right here in this area in the paint. It also bent it just enough to crack paint here and up to the air duct. The rest of the fender seems to be okay. However, most of the body shops I've talked to, they said if you can get a new fender, that would be the best way to go. I do have a nice used fender that can go with the car. It's rust free also. And if the buyer chooses to take it, they can have that one also. This is an area that a lot of people look at. I think you can kind of see it there. All this stuff under the paint right here in this cell panel area, what that actually is a lead seam where they join the roof to the quarter panel. Again, there was no prep work done before this lacquer paint was applied, and this was paint that had peeled off of the lead, and it's just a rough surface. So when they put the new paint on, that's what we got. It's not rust. In fact, it's lead under there, and it's just bad prep work before the paint job was applied. The only other area of concern on the car, on the outside of the car, is this rocker panel. I don't know if you can see it. Somebody high-centered it on a curb or something before I bought the car. Kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's got some bent, some dented up area underneath. You don't really notice it unless you're looking down low. The door hinges were replaced. Actually, pins and bushings were replaced a few years back, so the doors tend to operate pretty nice. This quarter panel's nice, all the way down in the bottom corner where you often see rust. This one is rust-free, as are the bottom of the doors. I'm not going to try to show you because I don't think you can see it, but I do have some pictures. The door panels are custom. We'll get to that later in another video on the interior. This door panel, also nice, but again, the door is rust free, underneath also. The door jambs are fairly nice. But then we have this door striker. This door striker has a plate installed, as you can see. Before I bought the car, somebody had installed this. I removed it to see what was going on, and the quarter panel is actually cracked in about 1 or 2 spots here. Therefore the striker moves around. Somebody installed the plate rather than doing body work. So again, if you ever have it painted, you're going to need to have that taken care of. That's about it for the outside of the car. I'm going to show 2 more videos, one of the inside, one of the engine, and one driving down the road. And as you can see, the outside looks pretty good, but it does need paint. It looks better in the video. And there's some more of those standing scratches you can see. Well, actually, that's cleaner, I think. But they are here. There they are. Looks pretty good driving down the road. Looks pretty good in a parking lot. But it bothers me, and it probably will bother anybody else that expects nice paint because it needs a repaint.